Hi, Joy.
Hey Faith,
How are you today?
I'm okay. I'm here. So that's one thing, right? It's hard for me to remember what time it is right now. I'm kind of freaking out about a lot of things and very anxious. But I'm glad I'm here and it's nice to meet you.
It's so good to meet you. I'm so sorry to hear that you're feeling that way, but I hope that I can help you and help you find some solutions. What's going on?
Yeah, well, this is my first time in counseling, so I am really nervous. So maybe that's why I'm probably able to focus a little more because I am, but I've been really struggling with my ADHD. Um, and honestly feeling more depressed lately, which is not typical for me. And I'm a teacher and I work with kiddos every day and like it's hard for me to keep them calm because I'm really just kind of all over the place myself right now. And I've had to sit down with my principal recently and she's kind of talked to me about how I'm not meeting some deadlines, and I know that I'm not, and I've been kind of ignoring it just because I can't get my mind around my time management. And so I'm kind of just drowning in everything right now. And so I need to find a solution. So that's where I am right now.
Okay, so you've never been to therapy. Have you been diagnosed with ADHD?
Yes, I have. I've been diagnosed for a while now. I'm taking Adderall. I've been on Adderall since I can remember, since college years. So I have a consistent psychiatrist, but been taking the same medicine for God forever.
Okay. Well, let's start from the beginning. I know this is your first time in therapy, so
Hmm.
um we do take your insurance. I was able to verify that. So if we decide to meet on a weekly basis, your copay would be $15 for each session. And everything that we discuss here, it'll be fully confidential. The only time that I would have to, violate our confidentiality is if it's court mandated, or if there's a risk of harming yourself or others. Do you have any questions about that?
No, no, I'm not. I'm not to that point where I'm that depressed, but I understand. I appreciate you telling me.
Okay. Everything in therapy, we're gonna go based off of what you want to do and what your goals are. So, I'm not gonna force you to do anything. So, anything that we talk about that I ask you or recommend, it's just to get a better understanding and just to help you come up with some type of treatment goals. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, you've never been to therapy before. I know you're taking Adderall for ADHD. How do you think that the medication is working for you?
I don't, but I also am not remembering to take it because my sleeping patterns have been really inconsistent lately, just because I'm not getting the typical sleep that I've been getting because of my depression. And so I'm forgetting to take my medication on top of it. And I know that's a problem, and that's probably impacting why it's not being that therapeutic. You know, I have two kiddos, and they are like, Mom, you need to use this app, use this. And I'm just like, okay, I will, I'll try. And, you play with it a little bit and you're like, oh, this is too much for me. Technology, just not my friend. But
Okay.
um, I need help. I need something to get organized in my life.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the organization. Let's talk about work. What do you think you're struggling most with in terms of organization?
So, grading papers, I think, has really gotten down. I haven't been keeping up with the grading for the past semester or so. And so I've just not been able to get my grade books up and not hitting those deadlines for the classes. So, making sure I'm grading the papers and getting those grades out. And then honestly, I've been putting off meeting with parents even just, and I think it's something that, you know, I need to address. There is a deadline for it, and you know, I haven't reached out to all of them to schedule meetings, and so that's another priority that I need to kind of work on and try and focus on. um, I'll start projects, you know, with the class. We do lots of projects, and then I kind of jump to other projects, and so I'm just not completing things, and I think that's what really started causing me to just, you know, have like a downward spiral, honestly. And now to the point where I'm just not getting the sleep because I have that anxiety, of not getting the stuff done. But yeah, I'm worried that I'm going to lose my job. And I know I've already been talked to by my principal, and she's given me, you know, some constructive criticism. And you know, I don't think I really made any changes, and so I'm just worried, about my job, and I love my job. So
So I bet that's, I know that can be hard. We see a lot of people here that work in education, and it can be overwhelming working with so many students. So, you're just know you're not alone in dealing with this. Um, I think it might be beneficial to maybe work through some organization skills training. Um, just different ways to stay on track, and just maybe managing it, I guess, to say in smaller capacities. Maybe instead of looking at grading 100 students, maybe we can look at grading 20 students at a time. Does that sound like something that could be more feasible?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
I think that I'm trying to look at a whole picture, and I'm just like, I can't fill this whole thing in all at once. It gets way too much overwhelming for me.
I know that technology isn't your strongest point. Have you ever kept a planner before?
You know, I used to, and I really enjoyed that because I had that satisfaction of marking it off when I completed it, and it was really rewarding. And it did help me kind of stay focused on a lot of bigger tasks too. But I don't think I own one right now. And you know what? I do a lot of shopping. I spend a lot of my time online and buying Etsy and Amazon, and I'm here and there spending money. I should think about spending money on a planner. I will make note of that.
Yeah, maybe scheduling time, maybe 30 minutes a day, or maybe an hour increment if you can, just spend grading papers, and then maybe spending, another 20 minutes in your day, making phone calls to parents. Um, and maybe that might not be so overwhelming instead of looking at, the number of calls that you have to make.
I think that's a really good idea. I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah. Um, in terms of like goal directed, maybe setting some goal directed tasks might help too. So, what's something that feels like a reward to you? How do you relax?
You know, like I really enjoy just taking long walks, honestly, with my dog. I know that sounds silly, but I just like to put in my jams and walk the dog at night. And I honestly don't even do that anymore. And um, it helps me like just kind of recenter. And I probably should put that on my list of things to do because I really enjoy those things. I am really like, I used to be really close to, you know, my temple that I go to, and I have a good, strong group of women that I kind of rely on, but I feel like I burned a bridge because I just haven't showed up as a friend. And um, that those friendships are really rewarding to me. Like having a time to plan for like a girls' night. I'm divorced, so I don't really have any relationships outside of my two kids and work. Um, and so I think that's something that I really do miss, and I think that's where some of my depression comes from too. So
So, do you think it's realistic to add maybe one social activity a week or a month?
Yeah, I would love that. And I think for me, it's just like putting it as a priority or a task in my day to, reach out to my friends again and reconnect with them because I know that they're always going to be there. Um, but then I just get bogged down with all these other things that I don't actually do that for myself.
Yeah. Well, let's work on you getting that planner and start putting that calendar together, and let's see if that works out for you. And the next time I see you, maybe we can work on looking at the schedule that you've put together and see where we can make adjustments.
Okay, I think that sounds really good. I
Okay.
will put that on my thought list, I guess, or just do it when I get off this call with you so I don't forget.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Faith. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'll see you later.
Bye.